Hi, I'm Claire Milliken and welcome to episode 171 of Art This Week. On this week's episode, we visit the Amon Carter and speak with Katherine Siegwarth about the museum's exhibition, Big Pictures. Now for Art This Week.
Hi, I'm here with Katherine Siegwarth, the curator of this amazing exhibit here at Amon Carter. It's called Big Pictures. Could you tell us a little bit about the artists that people can come to see here?
The artists range from contemporary to 19th century. There's William Henry Jackson, Ansel Adams, Richard Misrach, Laura McPhee, and many others.
Can you sort of explain why photography is sort of moving towards these big portrait pictures?
Well, so a lot of photographers are using size not just, to dazzle us, but to create specific effects towards this audience. So within this exhibition, we see how photographers use size in different ways to create specific interactions and interpretations of their work.
We're standing here in front of Mariposa Grove, big trees, and you can sort of start to get that from like seeing the large scale of like getting to see the whole picture basically. Mm-hmm. Can you sort of explain how they utilize the size of this picture to?
Yeah, so this image simply wouldn't work as a 5x7. If it was a smaller photograph, we might be able to guess that these are big trees, but by increasing the scale, we can see this man standing at the base of a tree. We can see this tiny cabin, and it really brings to life the giantness of these trees. An Eastern audience who wouldn't have been able to see such a tree otherwise can now start to grasp what these amazing Western landscapes hold.
And what sort of process did the artist use to develop something of this size?
So this is commonly referred to as a mammoth plate print, and during the 19th century there weren't photographic enlargers, so these photographers were making contact prints. So this image is the same size as its negative, which is impressive enough, but the most common process at this time was called wet collodion, and that required that these photographers create their glass plate negative, expose it, and develop it before the film dried. So it was a very challenging process, even at a smaller scale.
Okay, so digital photography became available, and a lot of people didn't want to print large format until digital came along. So why would that be a reason for somebody?
So Robert Ketchum is a great example of utilizing digital to create larger works. Ketchum is considered one of the first photographers to really expand the size of color photography. And in the 1970s, when he was first creating large-scale works, which at that time was more a 30x40 image, he wouldn't go past that because the sharpness that he required for his specific purpose couldn't be found. And so in the 1990s, when he could start scanning his film digitally, which allowed for sharper resolution at larger scales, he began creating larger images, and that certainly can be seen with other photographers today.
Okay, so this was done with a traditional film, and then he scanned it in to a computer and then used it, like that's how he did the digital process.
Yeah, that's my understanding. And then this is a dye coupler print, so this is not an inkjet either.
So with the, people still using analog, here we have Vera Lutter, who did this print, and this process is different than most. Can you explain what it is?
Yeah, so this is an analog process. This isn't a digital image, and this is actually a unique image. It's a unique negative that was created by using a camera obscura. So on some level, we have reference to two very antiquary processes within photography. The camera obscura is the basic principle behind the camera, in which an image is projected onto a room by creating a small aperture in a darkened area. And by creating an image at this size, Lutter is really transforming what might be a ubiquitous cityscape into something very unfamiliar and something very new. And at this scale also is really changing how we interact with this scene.
Mm-hmm. They start to really pull you into the scene that you're viewing. Like, you really get that grabbed in, and it's really breathtaking. And it's really amazing seeing all these different works and like where photography's come from and how big it's like getting and how far that they're pushing the boundaries. Thank you so much for talking with us and helping explain all of this to us.
We want to thank Katherine for speaking with us. More information on the museum and this exhibition can be found at cartermuseum.org. That's it for Art This Week. Thanks for watching.
I still got your Polaroid.